It's Tuesday, July 6, 2021. A few things I want to talk about today. One of them is the housing crash that is coming to America, the foreclosure crisis that is coming to America. Millions of Americans are unaware that they're about to lose everything. They're going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their standard of living. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to be in very, very severe trouble. I was reading an article today on MarketWatch. These are the cities with the biggest share of homeowners in danger of foreclosure. And let me stress to every one of you out there, millions of homeowners are in danger. This economy is not recovering. Many homeowners with mortgages backed by the Federal Housing Administration, the FHA, are delinquent on their home. Around 14.7% of the 7.6 million FHA mortgages outstanding nationwide were delinquent as of May. Now, of course, this does include homes in forbearance and homes that are not in forbearance. But this is a very troubling sign that we can even avoid telling the truth. We're avoiding the truth by putting homes in forbearance. We're avoiding the truth by putting renters in moratoriums. They're not telling you how bad things really are. If things were so great, we wouldn't have moratoriums, we wouldn't have forbearances. Additionally, 10.5% of these loans were seriously delinquent, meaning they're 90 plus days late. These properties are in danger of going into default, ladies and gentlemen. These figures do not lie. In fact, it is probably even worse than what I'm saying. The big question is what happens when the FHA borrowers who are currently in distress, what happens when the clock runs out? And I know everybody goes, oh, they're going to just extend it forever. That day is coming, ladies and gentlemen, where they're not going to extend it any longer. And millions of people are going to be in very, very big trouble. If a modification is unable to address the delinquency, obviously the next option is to sell the home. This will allow many distressed owners to avoid foreclosure. That is, as long as prices continue to stay up. My concern is what happens when things correct? What if things start bottoming out? What would these people do? What if these people were upside down? These people who think like worst case scenario, we'll just sell the house, pay it off, pay all the closing fees, walk away with a couple bucks, and our credit's intact. What if they wait too long? Any homeowner who is unable to modify their loan or sell their home will likely face foreclosure. And again, what if prices begin to come down rapidly? If we see a massive correction, if things collapse before millions sell, these people are going to be in very, very big trouble. People believe they will sell whenever they want, and the market can never go down. And a lot of people are just hanging on, just thinking that they're going to return to that job, that they're going to get caught up with the payments, that the economy is going to pick up and everything's going to be fine. And these people are sitting on a big mortgage. And if they wait too long, they're going to land up getting themselves in very, very big trouble. They included a list of delinquencies in the article, and this was very interesting. And this isn't all of them, but these were some of the highest areas of delinquencies. Atlanta, Georgia, 17.4% homes delinquent. 12.8% of those were seriously delinquent. Houston, Woodlands area, and Sugar Land in Texas, you're looking at 18.8% delinquency. 13.8 of those were seriously delinquent. Chicago, Naperville, Evanston area, 19.1% delinquency. 14.6% were seriously delinquent. Riverside County, right where I'm at right now, Riverside, California, San Bernardino and Ontario, 14.3% delinquency, 10.5% serious delinquent. San Antonio, Texas, and New Braunfels, 15.7% delinquent, 11% seriously delinquent. Dallas, Texas, Plano, Irving, 15.8% delinquent, 11.1% seriously delinquent. Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, Grapevine, 15.7% delinquency, 11% seriously delinquent. I mean, just think about these numbers, and the list goes on. That's just to name a few. I hope most of these people sell their homes and get out before this market comes crashing down. These people, if they wait too long, are going to be foreclosed on, and they are going to be decimated. Their biggest investment, their home. Many people just hoping that things are going to get better. Hope is not going to win the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Reality is you got to be a realist. Too many people just believe that if they hope enough, everything's going to turn around. It's going to be okay. Many of these people, I truly do believe, will lose their homes. I want to switch gears here now and talk about an article I was reading by Peter Schiff. He claims that the media is hyping the underwhelming jobs report. You know, we got a better than expected jobs report for June, but we also got a higher than expected unemployment rate, 5.9%. If you believe that that's real, remember, most of these jobs in June, in this June jobs report, are not new jobs. These jobs were already created, and these are jobs that were just restored, where people were going back to work. We're not creating new jobs. We are just restoring the old jobs that were temporarily shut down during the crisis. The labor participation rate was expected to improve. It remained the same, unchanged, 61.6%. So you would think that the labor rate participation rate would be skyrocketing in this V-shaped recovery with all this job creation where it's just people going back to their old jobs. And many returning to jobs that they used to work at where now they're not getting 40 hours, they're getting 32 hours. How many of these jobs that people are returning to are even full-time? How many? How many of them are minimum wage jobs? They're not telling us what's really going on. So many people now having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. It's so hard to go out and find a job that's going to pay you 40 hours a week. They're going to give you 40 hours a week. Those are almost impossible to find today, ladies and gentlemen. Service sector saw most of the job growth as restaurants open back up. So if you're a waiter, a waitress, a bartender, if you make coffee, this is a great opportunity for you. But as a world superpower, the so-called leader of the world, if the majority of our economy is going to be service sector jobs where people are, making coffees, making cocktails, serving you food, giving you a massage, cleaning your linens at the hotel. If this is how America is going to stay a world superpower, I don't get it. I really don't. The number of manufacturing jobs grew less than expected. The projection was 27,000, but we got 15,000. So here we are again, where these people continue to tell you, they tell me that America is a great manufacturing country. We're coming back. We're booming. The economy's never been better. Yet, how can we have a booming economy? How can we have a recovery when we don't even make anything? Especially now, when you have this booming jobs report in June, and out of that 850,000, most in the service sector, 15,000 of those are manufacturing. May trade deficit was $71.2 billion. The April trade deficit was revised from $68.9 billion to $69.1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, this means that we are spending more than is coming in, and this is huge. This is very, very big trouble. in your own personal household, if you have more money going out than coming in, guess what? Soon they come for your car, soon they come and take your house, and soon you're living on the streets, okay? But here in America, we have a money machine where we can just print money out of thin air and continue to play these magic tricks. But this is going to catch up, and we're going to pay a severe price for this. The trade numbers tell the truth about how bad the U.S. economy is. The huge deficits result from the fact that the U.S. prints trillions of dollars but doesn't produce a lot of goods. So we're producing a lot of money out of thin air, and we're not producing physical goods. We're not manufacturing, we're not creating, we're not making anything. We're just making money out of thin air and devaluing our currency. And we are going to pay a large price, a devastating price for what we're doing. This is causing the inflation too, right? So every time you go to the store, you notice that when you go and buy a head of lettuce, you go and buy a pork chop, a pound of hamburger, it's going up literally weekly now. In order to buy goods with all this printed money, we end up buying goods that are produced abroad, and the result is a big trade deficit that ultimately is going to put a lot of pressure on the dollar and upward pressure on prices. We're seeing that right now, and that is according to Peter Schiff. Once the dollar really starts going down, then that is going to exert even more upward pressure on prices. So every time you go to Walmart, every time you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, prices are going to continue to surge. So what's coming? More inflation combined with a weaker labor market and a weaker economy. And we're going to see stagflation. When the Fed is ultimately forced to tighten monetary policy, it's going to do it into a weakening economy, into a weakening labor market, and it will be too little too late. And ladies and gentlemen, it just isn't going to work. The only way it would work is if the Fed tightened to the degree Paul Volcker did back in the day, but we can't do that. And you all know why, because the debt is so out of control. We would never even be able to pay the interest on the debt. So expect chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Expect economic chaos. We're going to see things we never thought humanly possible here in America because we cannot stop spending, we cannot stop printing, and we cannot stop devaluing our own currency. We shipped all of our jobs abroad decades ago. Now we buy cheap goods made by slave labor with money printed out of thin air. If you think that we are not going to pay a severe price here, you truly do not understand what is going on. And people will tell me everything is okay in Timbuktu, Iowa. And if you live in Timbuktu, Iowa, I have nothing against you, nothing but love and prayers. But these people who believe because they live somewhere where it's doing okay right now, that everything's going to be fine. Your country, ladies and gentlemen, is in very, very big trouble. The United States of America is bankrupt. Let me repeat. The United States of America is bankrupt. More money is going out than coming in. We're not manufacturing. We're not building anything. We don't have manufacturing jobs. We don't have well-paying jobs like we used to. It's all gone. And people are now beginning to realize it because every day they go to the store, they begin to see that their purchasing power is being destroyed. Every time they go to the gas station, purchasing power destroyed. I want to end this video and I want to talk a little bit about debt. Debt is a destroyer, it is a killer, and the United States of America is going to be a victim of massive debt. It is being victimized right now by debt, and this is going to be what really devastates America and cripples America is debt. 2008 mortgage debt was $10 trillion. Today it's $10.49 trillion, which isn't too bad. But when we get down to student loan debt, today, student loan debt is nearly $1.6 trillion. Back in 2008, it was around $500 billion. It is up 198%. Auto loan debt today is nearly $1.4 trillion. Back in 2008, it was $0.81 trillion. It is up 70%. These numbers, ladies and gentlemen, this debt is completely unsustainable. And the housing market, with these artificially low rates, paying people to stay at home for over a year, things are so fake and propped up. It's so hard to even tell what is the truth today. But this housing market that they're continuing to tell people to buy into, look, the housing market is completely manipulated. We know who's buying it. Tons of institutional money is pouring into the housing market. And we have 3 million people, 3 million households in forbearance, over 12 million renters with families in a rent moratorium. We are going to see more than one crisis occurring here in America. It is the perfect storm. It is a recipe for disaster. That things have been so manipulated. We're now seeing stagflation. People are not being told the truth. People continue to run up debt. And America as a country is running up so much debt, it's unsustainable. And sooner or later, something is going to stop it. The middle class is being hollowed out as their income is not keeping up with inflation. And inflation at some point is going to be so overwhelming that it may be what brings the whole house of cards down. The top 5% was the only group that saw real inflation-adjusted income growth. We are at a point now where we're living in a country of haves and have-nots. The haves over there and the have-nots over here. And something sooner or later is going to put a wrench in the gears here. Maybe inflation will get so out of control, the stagflation where people, again, this is a recipe for disaster. Stagflation where you have this slowing economy where people are not going back to work and you have prices skyrocketing. So less opportunity while prices skyrocket and you have stagflation. They can tell you that next month we'll have 1 million jobs, or that we have 20 million jobs open, 30 million jobs available. But they pay $10, $11, $12 an hour while we're looking at 5+% inflation, while you're looking at $4 and $5 a gallon gas, while a pound of hamburger is $7. This is getting so out of control. And again, it is unsustainable. Something is going to give. Something is going to give. And I cannot stress enough that all of you continue to prepare. Put cash away. Put food and water away. Put some gold and silver away. This thing is going to get so out of control. I don't know about you, but I can just feel, I can just sense something really big is coming, and people are really going to get hurt. And there's people out there that can, laugh this off, can say, I'm a doom and gloomer. Listen, let me be very honest and straightforward with everybody out there. I have a very good life. I sleep incredible at night. All my debt is paid off. So I don't really worry about much. Everything I own is paid for. I have zero debt, so I sleep very good at night. And I want all of you to be in the same situation, or at least have your debt controllable, under control. When you don't have all this debt, when you don't owe anybody money, you're not a slave. You're not a debt slave. You really understand what wealth is. You understand what freedom is. And there's no better feeling than being free, not owing anybody a dime and not being a debt slave. So I sleep very good at night. I have a very comfortable life. I enjoy life. And I should, because I'm not a debt slave. And many of you out there are not debt slaves either. So as I close this video, get your debts paid off. You do not want to be going deeper into this collapse, owing anybody anything. Get everything paid off. The people heading into this depression with a lot of debt are not going to be able to take advantage of the opportunity, let alone keep their heads above water. They're going to drown in debt, and they're going to be victims of this collapse. You will not. Get that debt paid off, pay it off now, and become free. And the more free you are, the more opportunity you're going to have, and the less stress you're going to have in your life. And once you get all that debt paid off, you're going to understand what being free really is all about. Big opportunity is coming during the worst of times, ladies and gentlemen, and I plan to take advantage of it. I know many of you are going to take advantage of it. So, to me right now, I'm getting everything set up. I'm getting all my ducks in a row for what's coming, and I think you should too. God bless. Talk to all of you very, very soon.